All right, first off and foremost, welcome to the November community meeting for Squad Ops. We'll be going over a couple things such as our new schedule, our whitelist and public servers, our private events moving forward, what we have ideas for, our future operation changes, our SOTT schedule and content, and then we'll wrap it up with a couple questions if there are any. Okay, moving forward, if you have anything that you want to discuss, go ahead and type it or wait till the end of the meeting where we'll do the staff, or not the staff, but the community questions segment, and then you can key your mics in. All right, so first off, our biggest change with November for all of you is going to be the fact that we changed our operations schedule slightly. That being said, Barton was also able to complete our website's event calendar. So if you look at the event calendar, it's all nice. It's all very well done. You can easily visualize what day certain events are on now. So that should hopefully make it a lot easier for everyone to use. That being said, looking at the calendar, you can see that the entire month is completed. And so we have the entire month lined up. So what the weeks are going to look like is essentially the first event of a week will start on Wednesday, and that's session 2. Now, when we say session 2, that means it starts at 21 Central. That is session 2. Session 1 is 21 UST. But yeah, session 2 is code name for the second session, which is at 21 CT. So that's going to be our first event, is on Wednesday, 21 CT. And it's going to be open, so that means that you don't need basic, and that's the difference between open and closed events. Open events are open to literally everyone, even if you haven't completed basic, and closed events are for basic certified only. Moving on from that Wednesday, the first and third Thursdays of every month will be Squad Ops Basic, and anyone can attend that. Even if you passed it already, you can retake the course if you somehow wanted to do that. But that's essentially to get certified for our Saturday closed events. Now, closed events means that you had to have passed Basic, 0 exceptions, and Basic is a 30 to 45 minute course taught by our instructors that aims to basically get everyone on the same page so that everyone knows what they're doing when the op rolls around, so that everyone gets it. So yeah, that's basically our Thursdays. First and third are going to be basic, and then second and fourth will be alternating SOTT courses from advanced weapon systems to vehicles to medical to leadership. They'll be alternating, and they'll get rotated in. That being said, after Thursday, we have our Friday whitelist event, which is essentially just a whitelist server for all of our regulars and even people who have just signed up on our website. Everyone who is registered on our website is able to access our whitelist server on Fridays. And that first server pop session will happen at session 1. So 21 UCT on a Friday is when the first pop will happen, and it'll go throughout the entire Friday. And so that's basically just an area where players can get a more organized and structured environment with people of our community and kind of just separate themselves from the randoms every now and then. Yeah, the second session we have on Fridays, session 2 on Fridays, is a regular only event every Friday. We've discussed how to become a regular before. You just have to be a regular, and then if you're around enough, then you'll be invited into the program if you fit our principles, and if you're just around and part of the community, you'll eventually get invited to the regular program. But every Friday, session 2 is a regular only event. The first and third Fridays are new operation testing days. So only regulars are invited to that, and they'll be able to see the brand new op for the next month. So basically, they'll get to play the next month's op a month in advance. The second and fourth Fridays of every month are recording events for regulars only as well, where the regulars will get to be in our machinima movies, our video tutorials, any video work that we need done. The regulars will be invited to help us with that and to be in the video. And then Saturdays, session 1 and session 2 are our closed operations. Once again, that simply means that basic is required and that everyone kind of knows what they're doing to that extent. And that's pretty much our big schedule change for November. And this was a result of a poll that we did, seeing if certain people wanted the operation pushed back, and the majority said yes. So hopefully this will make the op more available to others, but we're also, continuing Friday events, so there's still something for people to do on Fridays. All right, so we're going to talk about the whitelist and public servers. So our public server has been going strong. We just changed the server map rotation a couple weeks ago, so it should feel a lot more there's a lot more variety. So let me know on the forums if you think that the server rotation is good, or if you have a better one in mind. But I think we'll be sticking with this rotation for a while. The whitelist server, we talked about that. Every Fridays will be locked down. We're also considering using the whitelist server for a couple other cool events that we have in mind. So stay tuned for those. Those will come with official announcements either later on this week or the next week. So expect new events aside from our operations. Yeah, so as far as our operations are going, we're doing really well with creating new and unique operations. Hutch recently jumped on board to help us, create more ops and more interesting ops. And we've recently, pushed pretty unique scenarios that are pretty solid and well structured. So those will be coming out. You'll see a lot more stuff rather than just the attack and defend operations. You're gonna start seeing, surgical attacks and more convoys and rescue missions and stuff like that. So we got a lot of cool things in the pipeline, and we came up with a structure of doing things to allow us to, kind of expand and make operations more exciting and more interesting. So stand by for those. You're gonna see less and less, pretty standard attack and defend, and more unique and dynamic operations start coming out here soon. As for SOTT training, like I said, that's every Thursday, and it changes every week of what's being taught. But those are not only, I would like to just say that as a reminder, that's not only for private play, but also for public play. So attending the training gives you some perks in our private side. For example, number 1, you complete basic training, you get to participate in the closed ops. If you complete advanced weapon systems, you get preferred asset distribution during our operations. Vehicles, the same, you get preferential driver or gunner selection and things of that nature. But the things that we teach in our SOTT sessions also translate to public squad. So if you are new to squad, or if you want to just learn more about a certain aspect of squad, our SOTT lessons do a good solid job of explaining certain systems. That being said, as long as you register, you can register for any SOTT session. They don't have to be done in any particular order at the moment, but that may change next month or later this month. So get in on all the SOTT courses you can, or refer noobs to the SOTT sessions, because those will help. I think we're the only community right now that does any training currently. That might change in the future, but I think currently we're the only ones that offer training courses, and we're proud of that. And we hope this helps not only our private community, but the general squad community as well, and helps inform some noobs and teaches and spreads knowledge throughout the community, the squad community as a whole. That's pretty much all I've got lined up here for the community meeting. It's a really short, just letting the community know what we have in store for the rest of this month. And one huge thing to look out for is the November 11th Veterans Day Stack Up event that Squad is hosting, that the actual devs are hosting. And that will be a very interesting event that we've been invited to play in, and regulars will get to play with the devs in one of our ops on the 11th. So regulars, if you have, if you can clear the 11th at our session 2 time, because you'll be playing with some of the Squad devs in a streamed Squad Ops event, and that'll be really interesting and really fun. But yeah, that's pretty much all that we've got for Squad Ops. As far as our mod dev, it's kind of been on hold with the SDK kind of broken, but we have brought on a couple new members to help us push that along. The website's got a small rework that might take place here in a couple weeks, but that's pretty much the majority of what the Squad Ops community is up to. If you have any suggestions, any questions, anything that you'd like to talk about, now would be the time, as I think the majority of the staff are here.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, shoot,
about
what?
ops. I know it's not realistic, but could we have an ops where medics can revive? It might extend.
So that's actually partly, we touched on that today, and that's actually something we have planned for this new event I'm talking about. But I think what we'll do is we'll kind of add this new event to be a soft core Squad Ops rather than altering our hardcore, philosophy and values.
Sounds good.
Does anyone have any other questions from the community, or anything that they'd like to see in Squad Ops maybe, or would like to see changed, or anything at all?
So what's the possibility of having it so you could have medics revive people, but like headshots are like, permadeath or whatever, like 60 seconds?
So this is actually very interesting, because this is something that we want to have as soon as the advanced medical system rolls around, which I'm assuming will be in a while, not soon. But modding is also coming soon, so maybe someone will mod it in. But as soon as we get that advanced medical system where, if you get hit by an RPG, you're unrevivable, and if you get shot in the head, you're unrevivable, then we might see to allow medics to revive down players. But as of right now, with the current medical system, I don't think that it would be beneficial to have medics revive people in this current state. If we can get it modded in, or if OWI provides the official advanced medical system where there is different damages will make you unrevivable and so on and so forth, then we can look at adding that. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Awesome. Anyone else?
Hey, Karma, how do you think the new vehicles are going to affect Squad Ops?
So we did see that OWI teased the Rocket Techie and the Crows Humvee. I think in general, the Rocket Techie is going to be an extremely interesting addition to Squad Ops, simply because we have had pretty much no indirect fire support assets aside from the 40 mic. So I think that, the Rocket Techie is going to add some really crazy moments, especially with One Life. We've already had some brainstorming as to what kind of operations we can push out with the Rocket Techie. But I think they're going to be, it's going to just amplify the attack and defend scenarios, or general operations in a whole will be just improved because of these assets. But I don't think we can really make an operation too extreme with these assets, because we haven't seen anything crazy like main battle tanks or helicopters, because when those get added, those will definitely change up the ops. But the Rocket Techie and the Crows Humvee don't necessarily have that much of a twist with them.
And even with the Rocket Techie, like one of the things that we do now is that there aren't really any reloads. So once you've expended, one or big barrage or one small barrage of Rocket Techie, you're kind of done.
But yeah. So I don't think anything crazy is going to happen, but it'll definitely amplify and improve the experience. But I don't think it's going to cause any game-changing operations or anything like that yet. Maybe when we start seeing completely different assets like tanks or helicopters, or things of that nature. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thanks.
Awesome. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'd like to ask something.
Go for it.
If myself and I mentioned this to Hyper a while back. If there would be the possibility of on the public server of making a test at disabling vehicle claiming, which I'm not sure if it's even possible, but just to see if things went well and actual transport and logistics squads managed to be created in a more practical fashion. Is that
That's
possible at all? Or
Okay, so that's a very good point. So I have two main things to respond to that with. Number one is our whitelist server will have disabled vehicle claiming. So if you want disabled vehicle claiming in a normal AAS match, our whitelist Fridays will have that. And secondly, we can't vehicle disable on public license servers. So that's why we can't do it on our public server or anything like this, because OWI won't let us, just like how they won't let us.
It'll knock us off the
Yeah,
official server list.
the
and push it
command
to custom.
is literally disabled for licensed servers. Any other question?
I remember Hyper mentioning that. I didn't know if that was really the case. But in the whitelist server, then when do you think we can expect that?
This Friday.
Oh, awesome! Thanks.
Yep.
Cool.
Anyone else have any questions, suggestions, thoughts?
I got another one, Karma. So where does the whitelist go from here? I know we have the whitelist events, but it seems like we could be doing a little more. I know you touched on it, but could you expand a little bit?
Sure. So the end goal of a whitelist server is to have it fully popped 24/7 with only people registered on our site. It's something that we can provide for our community, and our community members will always have a guaranteed spot to play, as well as providing a barrier, another barrier of entry to prevent griefers, trolls, and just flat out noobs from ruining your gaming experience. Of course, that takes time. We're still building on it. We have a base of people now registered to use it. Now is telling people about the change and getting them to use the whitelist server over public servers. It's going to be a little hard to do, but I think now that we have a base of people registered, we can start trying to populate it more. That's the goal of the whitelist lockdown, is to kind of get it preference over the public server. But that will come with time. I mean, we spent a full 2 months, I think, before this, just getting people to register for the whitelist. Now we got to get them to use it full time. So we have 1,000 people registered on the website, and that's 1,000 people that can access the whitelist server now.
Congratulations.
Yep. So we just need people to, so everyone's registered almost. I mean, the majority of our community is registered. Everyone, if you have a website login, is registered. The only thing now is getting them to use that server over public servers, which means populating it and just having people play on it more, which is just something we gotta ease into. We can't just jump straight into, because everyone needs to be made aware of the situation. Right.
Thanks.
Yep. Anyone else?
Are there any plans for like squad ops to do like the squad front lines, like the campaign?
So I talked with the front lines, I guess one of the admins or something, about how they plan on having, if I wanted the ops guys to create a battalion or something like that. It doesn't work like that. It works more like everyone's randomized, and you can pay $5 to play on a team for the entire campaign. And I'm not necessarily going to force regulars or staff members or anyone to pay $5 to play on the same team. So if anything, we'll create our own, which kind of ties into that private event, our own kind of, not campaign, but private server event, where we will have the structure of squad ops instead of relying on other platforms to cater to us. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Awesome. Anyone else have any thoughts, questions, suggestions? Nope. Awesome. All right, so I'll pretty much cut it off here. This is just, a short kind of announcement meeting, keeping you up to date on what we got planned and hopefully answering some questions that people have been thinking about. Once again, you don't have to wait every month for any questions. You can always reach the staff or the managers at any point in time. But yeah, thank you all for showing up. We appreciate it. And moving forward, we have a lot of interesting, cool things planned. So I hope that you all stay tuned because we do have this one event should be pretty interesting, hopefully.
Right on. Thanks, Karma.
Thank
Karma
you.
and
No
company.
problem.
You guys are doing awesome.
thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thanks for coming out, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. We'll see you this Wednesday or the next stop.
Roger that.
Yes, sir.